Hi, this is an instructional video on the Martin T60A Panelsaw. This machine is now known as the Martin T60CA. So firstly we'll come to the machine, we can see here. To get into the back of the machine, basically there is a handle on the rear door, and simply wind this adjustment as far as it goes to the unlock position and you can open the door. From there you can go in and inside the machine to either clean it out or to change the blade speed by releasing a lever. Underneath, release the tension, change the belt speed over. We come around to the front of the machine now, and you'll see that the speed is displayed at the front of the machine on the control panel from there. Okay, we come around now to the rip fence on the machine. On this machine, it's a manually operated hand-wound rip fence from the operator position. You can remove the rip fence easily by undoing this handle, lifting the whole fence and casting off and laying it on the shelf down below here. There's a digital readout for the rip fence. After 1 hour, this rip fence will go off. To switch it back on again, push this asterisk button. We again recommend, if possible, to stay away from using these buttons and the parameters. Just so it's set and calibrated now. So when it switches off, just push that to switch it back on. Okay. We come to the overhead guard on the machine. There's a lever in the middle which you can undo to release the overhead guard and push it completely out of the way. Then we have the overhead guard adjustment, which is here. So undo the handle, you can slide the guard up and down on a gas strut. It's got a 100mm extraction port. Coming down here, release this handle. There is a wide guard that sits in here. Slide that up in there for when you're doing a lot of angle cuts. This is the 90-degree angle guard only. Okay. Now, sliding table, 3.7 sliding table on V-slides here, which are here. Okay, the table has almost infinite locking position along here, and simply just lock this handle to lock the table where you need to lock it. It's got a lot of adjustment for locking there, a lot of positions, sorry, for locking. Every 6 months or so, there's a felt strip there that lubricates the V-slides. Simply what you do with that felt strip is you push the spring steel, drop the felt strip down, put it on the ground, put some hydraulic oil on the felt strip and then just push it, clip it back underneath after say 20 minutes just to let the hydraulic oil soak in. And you can see it'll lubricate these parts of the V-slide on here. Okay, so coming down from here, we now come to the machine's control panel. So, okay, for moving the rip fence, handle here, simply wind it, the rip fence moves, you can read the digital readout. When you're in position, push the lock down. For the purpose of this video, we'll just put the lock up at the moment. When we come down here, we've got main blade on and off, scorer on and off. This is for the main blade height, rise and fall, so simply hold your finger on the button. You see the blade going up, blade coming down. Tilting is the same, pretty much the same. Hold your finger on the button, of course, make sure that you have the correct guard on at the time and don't hit the guard, and make sure you've got the wide guard on. We'll just take it back to 0 now. So it goes back past 0 and then comes back again. Again, try not to fiddle with these things. If that digital readout goes off, just push the asterisk to turn it back on. Don't worry too much about anything else on there. Scorer unit on here. So we switch the main blade on. We switch the scorer unit on. And what we can do is we can adjust the scorer by simply tapping here for the height or dropping it down. And we can move it left to right. As it is at the moment, it's calibrated, so we'll just leave it. So that's just simple basic instructions for the control panel. Electronic brake on the motor. Crosscut table, again like any other crosscut table, to move that up and down, simply undo the handle. You can slide it to where you want it to go. Most of the time I end up locking the table. Releasing of the crosscut fence is this handle and this handle. If you want to do an angle cut, loosen this handle, loosen this one, slide it out. Move the fence across and slide that handle into any one of these positions. You'll see the degrees marked out on here. Okay, crosscut stops. These are off at the moment, they're digital. Switch them on, push the on button, leave it for a couple of seconds, let it go through the motions. Okay, there we are at 606.8. So undo the handle, slide it along, lock it. Micro adjustment is just here. On these stops, use on, off, reset. That's probably all you want to think about using. If, for example, the stop has gone out of adjustment, you've done a cut and it seems to be reading slightly incorrectly, what we simply do is locate the stop into this position, into the hole in the table, and push the reset button, and it should calibrate to exactly 400 millimeters. 3, 2, 1, reset. So it's 400.1 millimeters. Okay. So again, I stress, if you can, just use the on, off, and the reset. So switching off, you've got to hold it 3, 2, 1, off. Let's lock that up. We go down to the second cross-cut stop, pretty much the same. So switch it on. Okay, it's reading here. Be careful with the stop. You've got a locking handle in here. So when you release that, lift the stop first before you slide that out. Then when you slide it back in, simply do the stop up. But be careful, again, slide it back into where you want it to go. You can put your stop down. Just take it out a little bit further. You can drop your stop down, but when you're coming back into position, make sure if you're undoing that, you have that stop in that position when you take it back. Basically, when you with this, the calibration's a little bit different, so it's really located underneath. I'll just slide it back out again. So if this is out of calibration slightly, you just undo that Allen key and the bolt, and that's the adjustment or your stopper for this particular stop. Okay, it's just under here again. I'll show you. That's where your calibration value comes from. So again, we'll just turn this off. 3, 2, 1, off. Batteries are located in here. Should be 2 AA's. Batteries for the stop are located in here. So again, 2 AA's. Okay, we come around to the blade change. Blade change is very simple on this machine. So we slide the sliding table down. You get a special tool with the machine. Slide the sliding table down. We suggest moving the cross-cut table down the table a bit first before you do that. When you slide the table down, just be careful, it comes to a stop. Release the stop in here. I'll just put the phone down for a minute. Slide the table, and that is your, slide it just past the guard. And then I suggest locking it in case you're in here, someone comes along and pushes the table. So lock here, pull the chip flap down, that's a second emergency stop. When we come under here, basically you've got this tool, okay. Look at the collar. You'll see an Allen key in here. You'll see a red screw in here. Do not touch the red screw. All we simply do to change the blade is use the special tool. We put this on here. I'll have to put that down for a second. I'm just going to put that up there. So, basically undo. Then we just lean back slightly on that collar to undo it. Then you simply undo this by hand. You can take the whole scriber off. The whole main blade off. Exactly the same with the scriber. In here, do not touch the red screw on the other side. So scriber is exactly the same in here. Do not touch the red screw. When you've put your new blade back on, so you do that up by hand to as far as you can go. You take your special tool, you probably lean on that a little bit with a set of gloves on and just push down. Then all you simply do is do the screw up. Doesn't have to be over tightened, just like that. For the riving knife, on the back of the tool is the other Allen key for adjusting the riving knife. Make sure that's set correctly. So, riving knife adjustment with the tool here, main blade here. tool into there. Do not touch the red screw. Tool into here, exactly the same. When you finish changing your blade, close the chip flap firmly, remove the tool, unlock the sliding table. You'll hear the safety switch disengage, and basically that's about it.